Okay, wait, rewind. That's not a celebration. Okay. Aloha, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Dozen Hakias with Healing with Aloha Podcast. And today I have a special guest. This is Derick Fabian. He is the mastermind behind 7Sketches. And my son and I are like one of his great fans. We're his homies on Kaua'i. We're both from Kaua'i. And um, this month, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I wanted him to share because he works full time, but he also does what he loves, which is, well, in fact, he still does what he loves at his job. But he does art. He's an artist, and he's learned a lot over the years as far as like how you can incorporate like mental health and whatnot, and how you have to find harmony because you'll never be balanced. And so, with further ado, everybody, this is Derick. Derick, can
What's
you
up,
tell them a little bit?
everybody? Hello.
So, Derick, right now, you guys have been under quarantine, and you work full time, and
Mhm.
so you've been working from home.
Yeah.
And how's that been?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, actually because it's been good for me because I'm kind of a shy introvert, so it's nice to be at home. Like I totally don't mind. It's so easy for me to be home by myself. But I mean, I'm human too, so after like a long period of time, I actually started experiencing a little bit of cabin fever. So, like I kind of like wanted to like get out, and I've been fortunate to have like, a few opportunities to hang out with some friends. Whether it be in person or through like something like
Virtually.
this, like Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like it's been good. I mean, I've been able to meet all my deadlines with work. And there's like a lot of flexibility, right? Like like I might, for example, if I'm not up 9 to 5, like I fall asleep in the middle a little bit. I as soon as I wake up,
Recover.
yeah, I can work till like 3 in the morning if I have to, and not worry that I have to wake up really early the next day unless I have a meeting. But yeah, for the most part, that the flexibility is freaking awesome.
Right. You just don't know when you got to go back to the office, right? Working in the office. Yeah, instead of from
Yeah,
home. So
yeah,
can you
yeah,
tell them about the birth of 7Sketches?
yeah. So 7 sketches. So actually, there's like I guess 2 stages of 7 sketches. Yeah, like the 7 sketches now has been going on for 5 years straight. And that's the business aspect of 7 sketches. But prior to that, like the birth of 7 sketches began as a comic strip. And in 1998 is when I first
Wow.
began. Yeah, so it started out as a comic strip for UH Manoa, and it revolved around original characters that I created, and basically the story revolved around these two college kids that sucked at getting with girls basically. So so
I
that's
didn't
what
know
the
that was the back story.
yeah, that was, and that's me drawing from my experience and my just experiences of my friends. So it's it's about that. And in addition to like other college life or just funny things in general. But that's what 7 sketches began as. And then
Wow.
fast forward years later, I actually decided, I mustered up the courage to actually put myself out there and sell my artwork in public. um and so I kept that name, 7 sketches. I knew that I always wanted to do something with it. If it wasn't comic strips, it's something to do with art. And so I just kept that. And then so my very first event, and shout out to another Kaua'i person that helped make this happen.
Who's
So
that?
Ali, she her maiden name is Ali Ishikuni. Now she's Ali Ishikuni Sasaki. So she
Uh-huh.
actually graduated from, actually, her sister. She cheerleader, the sister.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I do.
yeah. So
Yes.
I forgot the sister's name already, but her younger sister Ali, right? Ali owns Ardently and Mori, and
In
she
downtown
also's got a,
Honolulu.
yeah, and
Yes.
in Ward. And then
Okay.
she also got like a thing at the at Haisam, Hawaii something art museum. So and
Uh-huh.
another like extension or something of
Venue. Yeah.
Maury. But anyway, so the way this whole thing began, it initially began with me being in Powwow, Hawaii, which is a annual mural art festival.
Yes.
So and then it also like it's not just mural art too. Like they have galleries and workshops or talks or what have you. So it's just like a celebration of just like all things art,
Yes.
all in one week, and you get to see the creative process behind it, speak to all these like artists that you look up to. And I was just wandering in one of the galleries, and a lot of the art like it kind of like resonated with me, and I looked at it. I'm like, oh, that's the type of art that I like to do. And to see these
Nice.
artists doing it, on a, they're big time, yeah, doing this the type of art that I enjoy doing. I got so hyped over it. I was so excited, and that gave me
Oh,
the courage to like that really like inspired me to do something with my art. And so that's powwow. Prior to that, I ran into Ali a while back, and then she told me about her event Art and Flea, which I didn't know she was the founder of. So I was tripping. I was like, I know of Art and Flea, I didn't know you were the one behind that. So she
right.
had encouraged me to be a part of it, but I was kind of shy at the time. Um, then Powell came about, and it kind of gave me all this like excitement and enthusiasm, and so that's when I decided like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I reached out to Ali, and then asked her like, can I be a part of your event? And so she's like, yeah, of course. And so that's where it all began. I did my first Art and Flea 5 years ago in March, and the theme was vintage. It was like vintage video games or
Oh,
arcade
fun.
classics. Yeah, so it was basically drawing like like the Super Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda, like
Nice.
the 8-bit era, the 80s video game
You're
era.
like
So
that. I can do that. That's easy.
yeah, like that's like really like that's like what I'm most passionate about. It's not most, but one of my passions, and it's some nostalgia for me. So that was like that was like a perfect first event for me, and I was nervous as hell, because it's just if you feel so vulnerable, you have to put yourself out there in public and
Right.
put your artwork on display. It's like your babies,
What
and
did
if
you do?
nobody,
Stickers? Like, what was your first things you did at your first event? What did
yeah.
you
So
sell?
because that event, the theme was video games. I had like came across these like little Nintendo toys. They're basically Nintendo 8-bit cartridges, but they look like they're personified. What is it, like anthropomorphic, whatever? Like they had hands, they had feet, and I love the look of it because it looked really graffiti. So they look like
Right.
graffiti Nintendo cartridges. And the creator, yeah, so it's so cool. So the creator of that designer toy, it's called a designer toy. It's like a collectible. So the creator of that designer toy, he did like a series of blanks, and so basically he gave you the opportunity as an artist to design the sticker labels that went onto that cartridge. So what I did is
Okay.
I designed a bunch of labels that went onto that cartridge, and it was a parody of like those old school games like Mike Tyson's Punch Out or Legend of
I
Zelda.
love that game. I wasn't good
Yeah,
at it, but I like that game.
yeah, those are fun, right? Like I actually beat Mike
Yep.
Tyson, so
The only way you can beat Mike
yeah, the
Tyson.
only way I could beat him up, right? But yeah, so those are my main merchandise because of the theme. It was just so fitting. So I had that. I had some like random like art cards, which it was just like whatever's. And then I still, my table was very empty still, even with that merch. So to like make it look full, like last minute, I decided to do stickers too. So the stickers was an afterthought. It wasn't my
Oh,
main,
okay.
yeah, it wasn't my main goal. And in fact, with my stickers, like I didn't really care about it. Like if people bought the cartridges, I was giving those stickers away for free. I was like, yeah, just take a
Not
bunch or
knowing.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, not
yeah.
knowing that it would be the most popular
Popular till now.
yeah till now. Like now I'm like known. That's what that's the majority of my merchandise is stickers, and that's what sells the most for me. So if it wasn't for that, yeah, I'm so glad that because when I decided to do 7 Sketches as a brand, I was thinking like more along the lines of apparel, so I was thinking of doing shirts. That was my goal. But when I saw the stickers taking off, I'm like, and so that stickers are so easy they're easy to create. They're more affordable for me and for my customers.
Customers,
So
yeah.
that's
Well,
yeah, that's
I got to help out. Remember, you did well, I got to see you on Oahu with the Comic
mhm.
Con, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
what is that one called on Oahu?
So
Is
the
that what
one
it's?
that there's
I
two. I forget which one
I
you met
visited
me at.
you the one that's like 3 days long in
Yeah, so both
Honolulu.
of them are 3 days long. So it might
Oh,
have
they
been
are?
Comic Con. Yeah, it might have been Amazing Comic Con,
No, it was the other one.
or Comic Con Honolulu. One of the two.
Okay. And then
Yeah,
last year I got to help you on Kauai, the
yeah, yeah,
very
yeah,
first
yeah.
one, yeah.
The
But
Kauai Comic
the
Convention.
joy that people had coming to your table to get new stickers that they didn't own, it's hilarious
Mm.
because they're like, oh my gosh, like I don't have this
Oh,
one,
I was
and I
so
it's the
blessed by
cool thing
that.
is you can make a variety, whereas if you're just
Mhm.
doing t-shirts, you're like, oh, I can only do so much, you
Yeah, it's
know?
harder with t-shirts. I mean, shirts, shirts like, I gotta anticipate like, the crowd, like, what sizes are they, what size is going to be most popular. But with stickers, it doesn't matter what your size is, right?
Yeah, yeah, and you can slap it onto anything,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly. So it's easier for people to buy stickers. I mean, I love doing shirts too, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I still do it till today, so
What
it's
is your
I love it.
second most popular item after stickers? Is it your prints, like your canvas?
Good question.
Do you
Yeah, you
know?
know what? So after my stickers, so I have canvas prints, I have t-shirts, and I
Yeah.
have enamel pins. And all three of those, like, I'm not very consistent in putting those out. So it's hard for me to like gauge like what product is, popular after stickers. Yeah, I don't know. I
Right,
just
right.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it
You're like,
seems like it's the
oh,
canvases. Like one event, my canvases will be wiped out. Another event, the shirts will sell out super fast. Like other times, the pins are like, it depends on the event, where
yeah.
I'm
You don't
at.
know your crowd. Sometimes you think you know them, and then it like on Kauai, I seen people buy like 3, 4 canvases like off the bat because they're like, oh my gosh, I love it,
I
because they didn't know if
know.
they're gonna see you again, so
Yeah,
they
I
just
love when they do that too. And those like my canvases, my pins, and my shirts. I don't mass produce those guys. So yeah. So I
is
think
it
maybe
all
that's why.
limited then? Like when you make them, you're like,
I mean, they're not limited in that I don't yeah, I don't set a limit on them. They're limited in that every time I do an event, I only print so much. I don't go like, it's very low count for each event. And, like I might, if I do, if I reprint anything, I might reprint it maybe once or twice based on how popular it is. But
mm-hmm,
for the most part, I'm not constantly bringing back the same design. It's only the stickers that I'm always replenishing
depending, yeah.
whenever they are in stock. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
that's cool though because then it's almost like the people who do have the access to the canvas and the t-shirts, like they may be the only few because, like you said,
Yeah,
you kind of gauge like, okay, in popularity, okay, I'm moving to the next design. So
yeah,
they
yeah,
may
yeah,
on Kauai, they might be the only ones with the canvases, or they might be, like one of the very few people on Kauai or Oahu,
totally.
Mount, whatever, or New
Yeah,
York because
yeah,
you went to New York. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, so
Exactly,
it's cool.
exactly.
One of the things I wanted to ask, um, I've gotten to talk to you throughout the years and see you in action. What
Mm,
is the one thing you've learned because you work full time, and then
yeah.
you're a designer, um,
Hmm.
and you do all these events like all year. You know what I mean? Like if you're not at an event, you're designing behind the scenes for like a major company. I know
Yeah.
last year, your top two. What would be the top two um accomplishments you had for your design?
With my
Um,
designs.
I would think to me 7-Eleven.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
Slurpee?
easily. Yeah,
Oh my god.
easily.
That was
That
a hands down, like wow.
yeah, that was a collaboration between 7-Eleven and Hawaiian Air. And yeah, by far that gave me the most exposure. Like I was blown away with the reception to my art, for that. I really didn't anticipate that all that love and support that came my way when that dropped. I was so stoked.
What was the okay? So some people don't. Maybe they're not from Hawaii, but they
Mm-mm.
love art. Can you tell
Yeah,
them what was your scenery, like your design? Like I still see it on Kaua'i. I don't know if they took it down. You know what I mean on
yeah,
Oahu.
yeah.
But
If
what did
yeah.
what was the theme? Like what? How did you design it? Because I remember. Oh, by the way, when I showed Kainoa, I was like, Kainoa, look, it's Uncle Derek's design right there. Like the Slurpee machine. He's like,
Oh yeah.
for Derek? Like, yeah, that's Uncle Derek's one. He's like, oh, look at you. Like, it's so exciting. Like, oh, I know him kind of thing. But
uh,
what did you go with? Because I know it's a fusion between 7-Eleven and Hawaiian Air. Like, what did you go with? And how did you come to that conclusion?
Yeah, so I mean, it was like basically we had like talks, between myself, 7-Eleven, and Hawaiian Air. So we were kind of like together, like brainstorming ideas. And so whatever we came up with, it had to be a good representation of both Hawaiian Air, and 7-Eleven. And of course, including and my 7 sketches like flavor, right, to it. So, so the concept in the end, after like going back and forth between all of us three, what we decided was to have this like the concept was based on like my characters, and they're like on vacation, and it's you see them as they're about to you know th- sorry, I'm getting all tongue tied. So it's either like you see them in the plane as they're like heading towards their destination, or they're coming off the plane. So that's what you saw in the light box for the slurping machine, is my
Yes,
characters,
the light box.
coming
Yes.
off of the plane, like just landing, like getting ready to like,
But
enjoy
weren't they
their
like showing
vacation.
Shaka or like weren't they all like
Yeah,
all excited?
yeah. So they're coming off the plane, they're showing the shaka, and they're like, they're just excited to like just have fun on like they're going like, inner island, like, vacations, yeah. And so I have that was on the Lightbox Slurpee machine, and then for the cup itself and the stickers, it was basically the characters in flight. So you see them through the
Windows.
airplane windows. Yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of like, you got some characters like looking out. Some of them is just like, and then
The
I wanted to
excitement.
get excitement, and I also wanted, like to relate to different types of people. So you also have my bunny, like he's on his like, his cell phone. He's like, I forget what I had him doing, like taking pictures or something. But just to show like the relativity of like, today, like with technology
Right?
and whatnot. Yeah.
So like right now we're all under quarantine. Like we would love to be your characters right now, like flying because everybody's like all our trips are canceled, and everything we planned is
Mm-hmm.
like pushed back or just
No.
canceled.
Yeah, I know. Sad. Yeah. My New York trip got canceled. I was supposed to go
Oh, in
the end
May.
of
Oh
this
yeah, it's this month,
the end of
right?
this Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So last year, I think what do you think was your number two? Big like
Um,
for
Oh, big
you.
thing,
I
yeah.
think I know which one it is, but I want to know what you think it is.
Well, yeah. So last year, 2000, so like last year, 2019. So, okay. So first of all was the 7-Eleven Hawaii collab. And of course, as I've already mentioned, New York, because that
Yeah,
was like,
I thought so.
yeah, obviously, because that was a first for me. That's something brand new. Never been to New York. New York,
What was it? So
my
tell them what it was, because that was a big
yeah,
one.
okay. So New York, they had this so New York has once a year they have this event called 5 Points Fest. And 5 Points, I believe it's they named their festival after 5 Points because 5 Points is an area in New York that's known for the graffiti art. Like it's just like and it's kind of like a kaka'ako, but um in this case I think it's like real graffiti writers just doing their thing, like it's
Yeah.
not like an event where they like ask for permission. I could be wrong, but it's basically known for like graffiti art. And so 5 Points Fest based their name on that, basically. But 5 Points Festival, once a year they have this convention where they invite a bunch of artists, and it's a variety of artists. Mainly it's designer toy artists, or designer toys are basically collectible figures. um and it's kind of like this like modern urban, no, maybe not necessarily urban, but just like art that's in 3D form. So that's the way I way to like
Yeah,
look
no,
at it.
I seen. I was blown away. I seen some. Like I was following when you were up there in New York. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
whoa,
Okay. Yeah, so
you're
which is a dream
hardcore.
of mine. Yeah. Which is a dream of mine to do is to create a toy, which is actually happening. But anyways, so going back to 5 points, so it's a so it's a combination of those type of artists and just like artists in general. And it's to me it's more of the a modern urban street art pop culture type of artist. So when you walk into their event, you just see a lot of like, again, you'll see like graffiti art type of artists. You'll see pop culture, you'll see anime, comic books, even like creepy, like monster or very stylized, or just like it just runs the gamut of like anything from like
But you're
cute to
like
like
a little
super cute.
kid when you went there. You're stoked. Like,
Hell
whoa,
yeah! Like I mean, like, and then for me, like New York is like like that's the birth of like street art
one
to
of your
me, right? Like
favorites. No,
graffiti.
but who is your
And
favorite? The group, the singing group, the music group that you love
oh,
from?
Fushnikins. Yeah, Fushnikins. And so like that's, I mean, like I have a lot of favorite artists that come out of New York. Fushnikins being one of them, like Wu-Tang, the Jay-Z, Biggie, like um there's just like a Run DMC, of course. Yeah, but I can go on and on and on. But yeah,
Yeah.
like in particular Fushnikins, going back really quick, like I actually did a piece that included Chip Fu from Fushnikins and Method Man from Wu-Tang Clan, and I put them into one composition for an art show
Wow.
here in Hawaii with Light Sleepers. And the theme of that event was Wu-Tang, but I included Fushnikins because I like how both rap groups had a kung fu, like Chinese
Vibe.
name to their group. And so I made it like Wu-Tang versus Fushnikins, like classic like
Nice.
kung fu movie or whatever. And so I posted it on social media, and like Chifu actually hit me up and he's like, "Yo, I like that piece, man. Can I buy that from you?" So then we
Oh,
established contact, and then I actually sent one out to him. And
that's
like he's
so
out in
sick.
Brooklyn. Yeah, so he actually took a picture with it and everything. Yo, that's like they're like to this day, like he's like one of my five, like easily top five MCs. Like it's just his style is it's so unique and timeless to me. So it was an
Right?
honor and a half for him to like own my artwork.
Right? And imagine like doing bigger artwork for people that you admire.
Hmm.
Like them getting, like it's a start. And like I know you're under wraps doing your own projects right now. So, and
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
probably sparked a lot of excitement. And then here you are, like it's under wraps, but you'll let us know more when you're able
Oh
to,
yeah,
right?
totally. I mean, like, I mean, I did mention that like toys is one of my dream, and actually, I can talk about that real fast. Like, I'm
Oh, you
actually,
can? Okay.
yeah, for sure, yeah. So, so ever since I started 7 Sketches, like I've had these like goals. Yeah, one of them was to paint for Powwow. So basically, do a mural for Powwow, and that
Yes.
actually happened. So I was like super stoked.
How many
So then,
years now? 2 or 3 years?
so I just finished my third year. This year would be my third year with Powwow.
Wait,
So yeah,
back it up. Who's one of the people that you admire that is there as one of the artists too?
at for powwow.
Yes. What is his name?
Oh,
One of the
dude, there's a
big.
lot, but one of my favorites for sure is Aaron Martin. He goes by Woes, so he
Uh
does like
huh.
these angry pandas.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah,
No, no,
there's
no,
a
no.
Tokidoki. I think you're like asking about Tokidoki, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
Toki Doki fan.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Actually,
he walked by yours and in Punky on Punky Aloha. Remember, I showed you the I had the video of him and I tagged you guys because he kind
oh
of
yeah,
like goes
yeah,
by
yeah,
your guys'
yeah,
art.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, shout out to Punky too. I love her style. She's such a cool girl too. I like her a lot. Super cool girl.
yeah.
But
That was
yeah,
our first. This is their first year.
yeah, she's so nice. Like so I've known about her because we have a mutual friend. And then so like my friend Eric told me about her. So because of him, I was following her artwork, and I really admire her style. I mean, it's very different from what I do, but
Yeah,
I'm an artist and I can appreciate all styles. If you're good at what you do, like I'm a fan. And so she's really good at her style, and I admire. I love her color palettes. I like the stylized look of her characters.
very
Um,
vintage. I love it. Like
yeah,
very vintage
yeah.
Hawaii. Yeah.
she's very, yeah, exactly, and she really like embraces Hawaii in her art. And so I started following her, and she follows me back. And then so we are aware of each other's artwork and stuff, but we've never met in person until powwow. I was, we were at the initiation part of it, and then I see this girl, she approaches me, and then she's like, excuse me, are you 7 Sketches? I was like, oh, and immediately, like, as soon as she said that, like, it just all just because of her look, yeah, like she had the bun on her head, and I think I
Oh,
remember
she
seeing it
did.
in her, yeah,
Nice.
and like a lot of her characters have that, and I remember seeing her. I think I might have seen a picture of her too. That's why, like, I was able to, like, put two and two
Coordinate
together. I was
her.
like, oh,
Yeah.
Faye Funky, like, yeah. So we got to talking. She's so nice, and so, like, throughout the week, like, while I was painting and working, I would take breaks and visit her, check out her progress. Yeah, super
Yeah,
nice. Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah, she did a really amazing job. I seen her end result and I was like blown away. Like I've
yeah,
never met
yeah.
her. I just came across her art in Kaua'i. I was at a boutique and I was like, oh, who's
Mm.
this? They're like, oh, she's from Oahu. And then I started following her on Instagram, and then I realized she
Oh,
was at the same location as you, and I was like, oh my gosh,
oh,
But she's really
wow.
cool. Like
Yeah.
I've been able to communicate with her privately. She's a really
Oh,
sweet,
nice.
down to earth person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really dope. Like, definitely one of my favorite local artists.
Yeah. Oh, she'll be stoked to hear this. So,
Yeah,
can you
yeah.
explain like how do you find harmony? Because I know there's times when because I touch base with you every now and then, like sometimes it gets really hectic, your schedule outside of work, and then sometimes it mellows out. But like, what did you learn? Like how like sometimes if you put too much in, like it impacts your mental health and whatnot. Like, can you
Mm.
explain that part of it?
Oh, yeah. So just the way I handle just my schedule or whatever with regards to, like, my sanity. Oh, excuse me.
Yes, your
That means I
sanity.
have to drink some more tea right now. No, but so yeah, like so I'm not good at time management, for first and foremost. Like, I suck at it. Like, I'm a person, so I'm not organized. I'm more of a go with my feelings type of guy, right? And that's not,
Right.
I should have a good balance of, like, go with the flow and structure, because if I just, like, like, if I'm all the way, just go with my feelings, like, it might be good for some things and it might be bad for other things. But basically, like, I guess what I try to do is, like, I try to allocate time, you know to all the different things that I need to do. So, like,
Projects.
I
Yeah.
have, yeah, so I have to make sure that, like, I dedicate this much time to my work, this much time. I mean, well, work is easy, right? I have to go to the office. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But then when it comes to, like, after work, like, with 7 Sketches, like, there's so many different, like, aspects. Yeah, like, there's the creating part about it, and there's the fulfilling the orders and the business side of things. And then there's my life, which is, whatever, doing errands
Socializing.
and
Yeah.
doing, like, laundry, bills, and then also just some me time to, like, do whatever I want to do that's not necessarily art, like just watch TV or hang out with friends or whatever.
Yeah.
And so what I learned after 5 years of doing this is it's really important to have a balance. Like, as much as I love 7 Sketches, as much as I'm passionate about my art, if all I do is art and nothing else, I'm gonna get burnt out, physically, creatively, and even, like, mentally and emotionally, right? And then that's gonna reflect in my art. I'm gonna move slower. I'm not gonna be as creative. The concepts are not. They're not gonna be weak. I mean, they are gonna be weak. Because I'm neglecting all other areas of my life. So,
Yeah.
it's important for me to, like, as much as it's important for me to, like, grind and just be, like, on it with my love, my passion. I also need to, like, be very, like, I need to live life. I need to spend time with my friends and my family. And when I do that, like, I'm always taking in, I'm always being inspired. So even when I'm just having fun or relaxing, I'm still, the creative process, my mind is still, you know
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still
But then at least you have that
running.
time to step away. I know sometimes you forget to eat.
Yeah, totally. I know, especially like yeah.
Sorry.
I, no, so
They
I mean
say
like
mental health, when you start feeling like your mental health is starting to be off kilter, you know what I mean? Like
mhm,
when you start like feeling drained
mhm.
emotionally and whatnot, they always say go back to your basic needs. Are you eating?
Yeah.
What are you eating? Are you drinking? Are you how much sleep are you getting? Like that's what
Yeah.
they always yeah.
No,
So that's kind
totally.
of like
'Cause
what I learned. Because sometimes I'll be like, remember when before the quarantine, I'd be like,
Mhm.
hey, what you doing? You're like, oh, I'm at the coffee store.
Coffee
I'm
shops.
at the tea. Yeah, yeah. I'm cutting stickers. You know what I mean? Because you don't have kids. You know what I mean? And so you're able
Yeah.
to just have these crazy schedules and stuff. But like if you have events like two events in one weekend or every week back to back because you gotta jam from work, grab your stuff, or your stuff is in the car and you gotta set up and then you gotta be giving again. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
energy. You're using your energy and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But what would your
Exactly.
advice be to upcoming artists or even people who are starting? Because I know like for some people like it's a confidence thing, you know what I mean? And like if you were doing it
Mm.
for so long, like even if you just started doing comic strips, right? And then
Yeah.
5 years ago you went into it, like how would you tell someone to build their confidence as far as like how do they initiate being at an event if people don't even know who they are? Like why would we allow you into our event when these people are like more established artists? You know what I mean? Like what have you learned?
Yeah. Yeah, so okay, so if you're like just starting off and you're struggling with your confidence, and I can totally relate because for the longest time that's what held me back is lack of confidence. Um, so for me, what helped me is to surround myself amongst other artists and other people that are all kinds of artists, whether they're at the beginning stages or they're like actually doing it or like they're successful and they're big time. That way if you connect with somebody that's just starting, it's relatable, right? Like, oh, he's at my level but he's actually doing it, so if somebody like that can do it, then why can't I? And then there's the people that are above you, and that's inspiration, right? Like, oh, that's a goal to obtain, like
Right.
or Steve. Yeah, so it's like, oh man, that's my dream right there. Like he's doing what I want to do, and so like use that as inspiration to like to because when you aim for the stars, you'll land on the moon type of thing, right? So maybe
Right.
like Tokidoki is like like there, I can never see myself being as big as him, but if that's where if that's where I cast if that's where like I look towards as my goal, I'll be that much further along, if I put my energy and my focus on that level of success, right? Because to me it's like trying to be like a Tokidoki, like it got me into like all these other things that I didn't think I could even do anything what I'm doing right now. Like my goals are so small when I first started. Like it was
Right.
just to do an event, like that was like the biggest, most scariest thing to me. So for people that just want to like, if they are struggling with their confidence, if you go to events, like check out all these events, check out the scene, check out the artists, talk to the artists, reach out to them, even if you're too shy in person, like social media, like DM them or comment, whatever, just start to like make friends with people or get that dialogue started. And I feel like once you like plug yourself into a community of like-minded like creatives, I think that energy that goes back and forth between you guys is just going to start to like help build that confidence in you and that excitement and that enthusiasm. And what I love about being around other artists is that we're like it's not a it's not a
Competitive.
dog
It's
eat
more
dog.
supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're very supportive of each other, like that was my fear too. Like when I first vended for the very first time, I was worried that my neighbors would like look down on me and try to like sabotage and like steal
Yeah.
customers. But it was the opposite. Like they were supportive, they bought stuff from me, they gave me advice.
Oh,
Yeah, and they totally like we met after that. We became good friends, and we shared, tips and tricks, like, and we just till now, like a lot of those people I became friends with are still my friends and still very supportive. So I think, yeah, that's like one of my, I guess I didn't even think about that, but it's like one of my greatest advice because normally I would just tell people like, if you have that fear, like just do it. But I know that's what I couldn't tell
Easier
myself
said
to
than
just do
done.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's hard. It's hard. It's like I have my when I was, I played the scenario over and over in my head. This is gonna be me at Art and Flea. I'm gonna have my table. I'm gonna have my art, and people are just gonna pass me by, and I'm just gonna twiddle my thumbs, and I'm gonna,
Oh
like
no.
I'm just gonna have to pretend that I'm busy, like, oh, yeah, be on the phone, like, yeah, I'm important. I'm busy right now. No one's talking to me on the other line. So
But then
yeah,
everybody actually liked it, and then you learn, and then you just keep building upon that experience, right?
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. When I went to see you, I think was it 2 years ago, the Comic Con on Oahu.
Yeah.
Me and my son went to see you. I was like, whoa, it's a whole new world because people are dressed up and like there is all types of it. My son was in heaven because they sell toys and and
Yo,
then we got the newest design that she had out and it was like, wow, this is cool. And the type of crowd, like the vendors and the crowd is just such a very good community. Like the vibe is positive. Like people are just
yeah,
like you can dress up and people be like, that is awesome. Like we can't normally do that unless it's Halloween, right? But like people
yeah.
go all out with how they dress,
Oh my
and
God.
like just the type of
Yeah,
art people do is like, wow, you would never think to to make that, but they
I
did.
know. No, seriously. Like I'm always amazed every time I walk into a Comic Con or a anime con, like just looking at other people's artwork, whether they're illustrators or they're cosplayers, like stuff is like mind blowing to me how good
Yeah,
people are.
it's probably like, do you feel like in a way like art is therapy for you too?
Oh
Like
hell
you just
yeah.
enjoy it because you're like, oh, you draw this, like, ooh, that's cool. Ooh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even if people aren't gonna pursue it as a business or like to be an
Mhm.
artist, like why do you recommend people just do art? Because I know you talk to kids and you talk to your customers all the time. Like
Yeah,
why do
yeah.
you think art is something that is important to be in the schools and for people to just do? Like because some people are like, oh, I can't draw. Well, you can draw a circle, just draw circles. You know what I mean? Like, just doodle. You know what I mean? Like, why do you think it's good for your mental health? Art. Like, what is the value of people just doing it just for fun? Like, why do you think it's good?
Yeah, because I mean, well, so for one thing, like art, art is something, it's something that's in you that comes out, right? So like it's 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 an expression. It's like another form of your voice. I mean, you don't have to say anything deep. If you can, that's awesome. But at the same time, like, whatever. It's just something that's in your mind, and then I think the process of like creating art is magic, right? Because it's like an abstract idea that becomes something that's in the physical world, that you can actually like look at and like
Yeah.
share with other people. Like there's something beautiful about that you can take something out of your head and then like manifest it into like something physical, that and then other people that to be able to be shared by other to share with other people and stuff like that. And I think like there's like the process of like actually creating, yeah, like you mentioned, like it's therapeutic, like it's something that's it's special, it's you, it's coming out of you, it's personal. And with regards to like like mental health or whatever, I mean, like, yeah, it's closely tied to that, right? Because it's art begins in your mind, right? So like that's the mental aspect, and then it's just getting it out there. It's therapeutic, as we've mentioned. So for me, like art is basically like my anti-depression, like how like today's like world with like mental issues, it's good to like talk, like therapy. And then it's chemical too, right? Like some people need medication,
Yes.
which I actually like talked about in the past. Like, I mean, I'll admit, like, it used to be so hard for me to like actually talk about it, but like for me, like, I've struggled with depression, and so I actually had to like talk to a therapist. I actually had to take medication. And to be honest with you, like, above everything, I mean, talking really, really helps, but I've art is very powerful for me. Like it really truly is like my antidepressant. When I'm creating something and I'm done and I look at it, like it makes me smile, and it's, like, I don't know, why it had that
There's no
effect on me.
judgment, yeah. Like it's you just being you on paper or on the computer, like no judgment. Because
Yeah,
sometimes
there's
your
no.
art is dark and sometimes it's happy, but it's
Yeah, yeah,
fluid.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so with art, like, and you can go either way, right? Like with art, if you wanna, if I'm like super dark and depressive, very depressed, like maybe I can let that out and express that sorrow through art, and it can look black and gloomy and whatever. Or the route that I took is I like to, I did stuff that is colorful and fun and vibrant, and like to me that's what it is that's my goal. Like that's what I wanna. That's the kind of feelings I want to have. I want my feelings to
Mm,
be colorful, happy, vibrant. Like I want to be happy. So like I'm basically
yeah.
creating my emotional goals, I guess, like I
That's
could express my
cool.
sadness. I could express my sadness too, but like it's not fun to me. Like
Yeah.
when I try to draw like dark and gloomy, like it's just not me. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I have the desire to do that though. Like, that'd be I've done stuff like, but then see, that's the thing. I think that's when I'm depressed, like maybe that's the time to draw like depressive stuff to get it off of my chest. But when I'm depressed, like I don't even like to do anything. So that, it
Mm,
doesn't help me to draw while I'm depressed. Like I'm
right.
one of those type of people that I can't express it, through art. So by the time I come out of it, like, I'm not in the mood anymore. But I think what it is, my art right now keeps depression at bay. So like I'm creating all
Yeah.
this art, it makes me happy. And then when people respond to it, the way they do, like they give me props, they actually buy my stuff,
Yeah.
they share it with their friends, like that keeps my emotional levels up, like that happiness, because it's
Yeah.
constantly
Because
dropping,
it's an exchange of energy, yeah. Remember I was telling
yeah.
you it's an exchange of energy. Like
Mhm.
when you give and you get back, it fills you up. You know what I mean? Because it's a gift.
Yeah,
Like you're sharing a gift. Like even
yeah,
someone smiling or listening, that's talent. That's a skill,
yeah,
And when you come
totally,
across
totally.
somebody who can meet your needs and you can meet theirs, like it's gratifying. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Whereas when you
definitely.
start feeling depressed and you're going through an episode, because I
Mhm.
I I struggle with post traumatic stress disorder, and there are times when I'm so paralyzed, but I know that
Mhm.
when I'm listening to music or when I'm vibing with someone, that helps me to come out of it. Not
Yeah,
like I'm still sad. It's just um, when you feel not so alone in it,
yeah,
like it
yeah,
brings you, out of it. Like at your own pace, you come out of it. Because I've talked to you when I've had moments of depression, like right
yeah.
before my grandma passed away. I've talked
Mm.
to you, and
Yeah,
like I've
yeah,
just
yeah,
gone through highs and lows and stuff. But you
yeah.
understand, and but like it's cool when you can talk to people and they don't judge you, and they're just supportive and they're patient with you in the process and stuff like that. But when you just
Totally.
like are so like shut out from everybody, it doesn't, it just makes it harder for us to come out of our, like if you're having an episode and stuff like that, or for some people, like, it's important for them to use their medication. You know what I mean? Like everybody has it's a chemical imbalance too for some people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so
yeah. Exactly. So people, yeah, people experience it differently, right? Like, or they have different triggers or sources of their depression. Some can be a traumatic experience. Some people, it's it's a chemical thing. So yeah, it's just dependent, like on the type of depression you're experiencing. What type of help is right for you?
yeah, I just wanted to tell you thank you because your art it evokes happiness in me.
Thank you,
um
thank you.
like I love like when I follow your Instagram, and then you post your new art or just even your old
Mhm.
art and the things you're doing. I feel happy because I feel like, wow, like it's cool. Like it's not something I could do, but it's cool because you're you're doing what you love, and then it
Mhm.
inspires me to do what I love. And I think, you know that's how we should be as humans, is doing what we love. Sometimes you don't have to get paid to do what you
Mhm.
love, but if you're in alignment and doing things you enjoy doing, there's some people, they just do it from their heart, and They happy. They don't even make money. Like go play ukulele, go at the beach, and just start singing.
Oh yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally, totally.
And I think people who are like artistic, they have to stop listening to their negative self talk and just be themselves. You know what I mean? And the
Mm.
people you vibe with, your tribe, they say your tribe will find you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. I like that. Like one of my favorite podcasters, Mark Bricky of Adventures in Design, he always talks about that too, like finding your tribe. And with that's like what the Comic Con community or the anime community, like that's like a huge tribe that
That's a
I
huge tribe.
yeah, where you feel like you feel connected, you feel like safe to be yourself with without people judging you, like it's or like even like when I'm in powwow too, like and first I was intimidated because like I felt like there's gonna be like just so cool, and I'm just like I'm really like I'm a nerd, like a dork kind of guy. But like when I met so many cool people over there, so many cool artists, and like I love that scene, like a huge fan of graffiti art. I'm not a graffiti artist myself, but I'm a lover of it. I'm inspired by it. And then my my what do you call it, impression of graffiti artists, or yeah, graffiti artists, street artists, is just they're just too cool, they're bad boys or whatever. And I'm like
Right.
I'm like a dork, I'm like a nerd and whatnot. But when I I got into the mix of all those artists, like I was totally wrong, like they're just everybody's so cool, they're so nice. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's what, because when I started following you, then it kind of like I can see other artists because it pops up. You know, when you start following someone like Instagram or Facebook, they show you potential people that you might want to follow and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
the one thing I find when I follow like the artists is they're really kind hearted.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
like the core, they're really
Yeah,
kind hearted
yeah.
because it takes courage to take from your thought and put it to paper or put it on the computer. Like I follow a lot
Mm.
of female illustrators and they utilize it to help with self-care, self-love and stuff like that.
Mm.
But I mean it looks simple, but when I try it, my hands don't coordinate as well as theirs. But it's just like the the heart behind it is so pure. Like people are just
Mm.
the ones that are just doing it just for the like you can feel it. Like what I mean? Like they go into their space, whether it's dun dun dun, like gloom and doom, but then you get the comedy people, then you have
Yeah,
the people who are like, it's cool. Like it's very needed, the community.
totally, totally, totally.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I could hang with you forever, but I know you have new projects coming up. Do you kind of know, like, is it this year that your toy is gonna release by the end of this year?
Yeah, so I got two toys that are coming out. So the first toy that's probably gonna drop soon, it's a collaboration with a Filipino artist, yeah. And right now, like in the designer toy world, like he's like the golden child. He's like one of the most famous artists out there. So
Wow.
yeah, so what I did is he designed the character, and it's a blank. He gives it out to like the all these different artists for them to like design on top of, right? So that artist's name is Quix, that designed the actual character, and it's produced by this company called Martian Toys, and they're out of
Oh
Philly.
wow.
Yeah. So I was invited to be one of the artists, part of the artist series of Quix's toy. So, and it's cool because I actually like because Quix came to Hawaii, so and he's got a huge fan base over here. So I did this like kind of like an homage or like a shout out to Hawaii in that design. So it has like Hawaii elements on it. So that's already like he already Martian Toys have showed me like the pictures of the actual toy, fully finished, and
Nice.
so that should be available in a few months. I don't know the exact dates, but
Yeah,
it's
because of
it's
everything right now. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But it's already like it's basically in production, right? It's just being produced right now. So that should be dropping sometime in the next few months. And then the other one is of my own character, which is a panda, right? Like I'd done like so many different, iterations of
Fabulous.
this like panda guy. Yeah. So that's a toy that's being it was 3D sculpted by Owasim. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's from
Wow.
Romania. This like did this really talented sculptor from Romania. So
Wow.
he sculpted it for me through in 3D, and then from the Heart, a local designer toy shop from the Heart, and then one Strange Cat Toys. They're out in Florida, so they're all helping me to realize this
It's so
toy.
global. That's so cool. Are you
Yeah,
excited?
I'm so stoked because like I never. Everyone keeps telling me like, "Yo, Derek, when are you gonna make a toy? Like it's easy, right?" I'm like, you know
Right?
how expensive that is, and I don't know how to sculpt. Like, so this is where like the stars aligned, and then brought God brought certain people into my life, and like
Right.
now it's actually
You
like
should do the
happening.
kind
So
of what is that when you people can pre-order like the backer? What do you call it? What's that? Where
oh,
people
Kickstarter.
yeah, you can do Kickstarter and people can like if you're at a certain level you can get sticker or you can
You know
get
what's
like
crazy? That's funny you mentioned that. I actually met the CEO of Kickstarter in New York.
oh where?
Like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, like he came to my table and he was buying stickers for me, and then his shirt looked the design was so dope. So I was like, "Yo, that's a cool shirt, man." And then he's like, "Oh, thank you, I designed it." I was like, "What?" So we got to talking, yeah. And he later, he asked me what I do for a living, and then I asked him like, "Well, what do you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I own Kickstarter." And I thought I misunderstood him. I was like, "Oh, wait, what? You're the art director of Kickstarter?" He's like, "No, no, no, it's my company." I was like, "What the heck?" Because he looks young, this guy. Like, he looks like he's only in his 30s. So I was
That's
tripping.
awesome.
Yeah, such a nice guy.
Yeah.
He went to Kaua'i. He vacationed over there.
Oh really? You're like, I'm from
Mhm.
Kauai. I'm from there. I'm born and raised.
Yeah, he actually hit me up. He's like, "Hey, if you're in Kauai, let's hang out." But I was like, "Oh, dude, I live on a different island, man, and I don't have
Right.
I'm too busy. But if you come to Oahu, I'll
Oh,
kick it." But yeah,
right,
but
right.
yeah. So that's
That's
what's in store
exciting.
for me.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should. Me and Kyle can pre-order ours for your toy one. Ask your because you have your new collab team. You should ask one of them to help you on the back end for this part of it because your forte is the design aspect, but then your team you just created, you should ask them
Mm,
to help you with that because that is easy
that's
for
a
them.
great.
I think they're
That's a
detail
great idea.
oriented. I think
Yeah, yeah.
they'll be like, that's easy. What else do you want to do? You'd be like, crazy guys.
Yeah,
But
that'll be
yeah, that
fun.
might help you out a lot because then it'll move it faster because then you'll have money up
Yeah,
front. Because
that's
you know how
true.
many
That's true.
customers you have that love you? They've been begging you for years.
I know, I know. Yeah, that's
And
a
to
great
get their
idea.
hands on it, they'd be like this. Seeing your customers, they're crazy, like in a good way.
I
They're
love
fanatics.
them.
They're like
They're
7 sketches.
I'm so humbled by that. Like, just yeah, they're awesome. I love them.
Yeah, we just want to see we just want to see you live your best life and we like I said we were not able to do the things you can do but we know that we love what you do. You know what I mean? Like when I wear my Bruce, I showed you the video of me doing
Yeah,
Brucey on
thank you
TikTok.
for that. That was so funny. I loved it. Oh, what's up with the hiccup? I'm gonna hold my breath. 10 seconds.
Somebody had to come and scare you so you can
I
stop
know.
hiccuping constantly. So
I scare myself.
Derek, I know you have to go back to work because you have hey, is that your cup?
Yeah. Oh, a little plug. Lion Coffee. Shout out to Lion Coffee for having me a little coffee
I
cup.
remember seeing
Coffee
that.
cup. Yeah. So
That's so
they
cute.
asked me to.
Did they still have it available on their website? Did they sell it?
I don't know. I don't think they
Or
sell it
was
on
it
their website,
limited?
but
It was limited.
I think it was a limited amount. It might still be available in the store. So when they
Okay,
open up
okay.
again, maybe people can check it out. But yeah,
Cute.
this was
Sorry, I
yeah.
just seen you swing it. I was like, wait, that's your design?
This whole time I'm trying to like get your attention. Like, come on, Des, bring it up, bring it up.
Brr,
I don't want to talk
brr.
about myself.
So, what is the best way for people to follow you? What like on social media?
Oh yeah,
Facebook.
so I'm most active on Instagram. So you can look for me. It's at 7 sketches. So it's the number seven. So 7 sketches. Then if you go on Facebook, the actual address or whatever is 7 sketches hi for Hawaii. But
Hawaii.
if
Yeah.
you just type in 7 sketches in the search, my page will come up. And then I also have a Twitter, 7 sketches. I'm hardly on it, but I have
You're
one.
mostly seven. Yeah,
And
you're mostly on Instagram.
yeah. And if you just Google 7 sketches, you might be able to find like my Redbubble account, my Big Cartel, where you can order merch from me too. But
What is
yeah,
on your Big Cartel? Because that's the one that
uh, at the
you're
at the
direct.
moment I have a selection of my stickers, some pins and some canvas prints. And Redbubble, I have a bunch of like miscellaneous products, but majority of my clothing is on my Redbubble.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
stuff, yeah, the stickers and stuff, it's
And
easier for you to access and like push out faster. Yeah,
yeah,
you have
like
more
that stuff I can
options.
handle on my own. But yeah, my stuff is all over the place. Sometimes I sell shirt directly, it's directly from me. Sometimes I rely on Redbubble to do all the production. It
Yeah,
just really depends on how I feel.
right. You're like, okay, do I want to do with this? Because
Yeah.
the request is gonna come through at what?
Yeah, just the whole packaging and like finding the time to mail it out, like writing like it's all of that stuff is like time consuming, yeah. So
Right.
yeah,
The
it just
stickers is
depends.
easier.
Yeah, much easier.
The packaging.
Yeah, basically it's the envelope.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. I deeply
Yeah,
appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you. Like my friends are like, when you come to Hawaii, dude, like when it like we're able to because we're like 14-day quarantine and
yeah,
I don't want to
lockdown.
go to Hawaii and I can't go anywhere, like forget it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know you want to come home, but you're gonna just be, you know what I mean? Like, just wait till they lift the quarantine, for
Yeah,
Hawaii.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I'm excited for your two toy, your first collaboration and your own. Well, no, it's
Thank
still
you.
a collab because it's yours, but people are helping infuse it into reality.
Oh yeah, it's a collaborative
Yeah.
effort, but it's the toy itself is the design is mine, and the other one is a actual collaboration. So yeah, but
And
yeah,
I'm
it's it
excited
takes a
because
it takes
you
a
have
whole
like other
team
cool.
to make this work.
Yeah. And you know what,
Yeah,
Tokidoki? That it's a team. It's not him. Like he has a team. And eventually
yeah,
you're gonna get to that
exactly.
point where you have to let go and be like, okay guys, I trust you. Okay, you guys
Yeah,
can help
totally.
run the back end and let me do this part, you know what I mean?
Right.
The part that
Exactly,
fires you
exactly.
up. Because the other
Yeah.
parts is like, ah. Well, I'll
Exactly.
definitely see you this year. I still don't know when on a wall. But thank you so much for your time. And then
Thank you for
I'll
having me.
talk to you after this. But yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Aloha.
Aloha.
Okay, I ended it. Wait,
Okay.
did I stop recording?